Ah! You are correct. Yep. Greetings. I'm a little on the glitchy side today, in more ways than one. Ooh, what could this be? Oh, it seems this mysterious heart bar is gaining, doohickeys over there. I don't know what you call those. It's filling. But what could it mean? Whatever could it be? Oh, the mysteries, the mysteries. And I still haven't made my bed. I refuse. What could this possibly be? It's a secret. You'll find out when it's full. No one even knows how much each of those little bars is worth. So who knows? It could take forever. I won't tell. Secrets. Secrets! Alright. How is my green friend on this day? I noticed you said you were free. You've escaped from your secret hole. You're free, you're free. Free to do as you like. Free to venture into the wild. Free to spread wholesome energy to all. I'm also free. Or I will be, tomorrow. Because I work every day except for the weekend. Oh. Oh. Yay! Summer vacation time! Got any fun plans? Oh, perhaps. I don't know if I get it any summer vacation. Probably have to request it off, I'm not sure. Although, it's nice to have weekends off. All the plans. Every plan. Alright, we're gonna wait 10 more seconds and then we're gonna get into this here tier list. Now, I couldn't fit every single thing that's good for biting in one tier list. But I got a lot. There's lots in here. Here we go! Alright. Here's our lovely tier list. I'm gonna scooch over a little bit, actually. Okay. Now you're visible. And you're covering the ads. Thank you. So I don't know how long this is gonna be. Probably not the longest of streams. But, it's gonna be fun regardless. I've never done one of these before, these tier lists. I have many, I have some many concerning things in this list, and some things that, others will not agree with. But that's why it's my tier list and not anyone else's. It's just mine. Just mine. So, I'm gonna choose my own stuff, and I'm gonna stick with it. Alright, let's get it going. How's the sound, by the way? Is the music too loud, or is it just right? It's in my ear, so it's very loud for me. I think it's probably okay. It was quiet before. It's always hard to test levels, my goodness. Music's good, perfect. Alright, let's get this going. Alright, so, the first thing is, tinfoil. So, tinfoil. This one should be fairly obvious. Yeah. It's just a bad time. It's a bad time all around. No one wants to bite tinfoil. You try it once just to see what it's like, and then never again. It's like doom in your mouth. I don't know if there's probably worse things to bite than tinfoil, but it's really high up there in terms of bad. Ugh. My teeth hurt just thinking about it. And I'll bite anything. Okay. So that was a quick one. This next one is a little bit controversial. No, no, no. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It says do not bite. It says do not. Don't do it. I'm saving you. A world of pain. Oh, it's too late. He's crunched it. The regrets. Now comes the regrets. Oh, it's bad. It's a bad time. If you do it quick, it's not as bad. Oh, and if you have fillings, it's even worse. Alright, moving on. Moving to something a bit more controversial. Alright, so, coconuts. So, some people say that biting coconuts is like biting tree bark. I've heard that before. Although I don't know how people can compare it to biting tree bark unless a lot of people have also bitten tree bark. And that's a little concerning. But, you know, my sister does not like biting coconuts. She's just not a fan. She's one of those people that thinks it's like biting tree bark. But a lot of people also like the taste of coconut, so it's like a double-edged sword, because you're like, I would like to bite the coconut, but at the same time, I do not want to bite the coconut. Now, that's what other people think. What do I think? Well, in my expert gremlin opinion, coconut is great to bite. I love the texture of coconut. I don't care what anyone says. If this is what biting tree bark is like, give me some tree bark right meow, because I will bite the heck out of it. It's tasty, and the texture is neat, and it's unique. And it's definitely got a crunch to it, which I appreciate. Crunch is very important. And something I also consider with this tier list, so I consider the process of biting, and I also consider the after effects of biting. So that's going to be important for some of these. Because some things you just bite and you carry on. Other things you bite, and then it's a whole thing. It's a whole situation. So that's not one of these things. This one's fine. It's good. I like it. It's good for biting. Alright, next on our list. Apples! Alright. So, apples are another weird one, because certain textures of apples, like when you bite into them, it feels really weird on your teeth. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, it feels like what nails on a chalkboard sound like. Like you're on your teeth. Like, it's got the same mouthfeel as, it's got the same mouthfeel as, scraping, like, a fork against a plate, sometimes. You can never be sure if, the apple's gonna be a good bite or a bad bite. It's always a toss-up. Yo, you like Red Delicious? You're not a heathen, because Red Delicious is also my favorite. Although, what I do to avoid the squeaky bite, what I do is I cut them. I always just cut them up. Put a little caramel on that. Good. Heathens! Heathens together forever. Only heathens are allowed in this chat. So yeah, I would say, because of the fact that it's kind of a toss-up between whether or not it's gonna be a good bite or a bad bite. Yeah. Oh, I hate them so much. Or when there's too much wax on it. Like, because they put wax on a lot of fruit, like apples, for example, at a supermarket, so that it doesn't get, like, it doesn't go bad as fast. They put a edible wax on them. Sometimes they put just way too much. So no matter what, yeah, they do. Yeah. Look it up. They do. They absolutely do. It's not bad for you, but sometimes they put too much, and it's not a good time. You've learned something new this day, my friend. So yeah, what I'm probably gonna say for this is, because more often than not, apples are good to bite. But since there's the possibility that it's gonna be bad to bite, we're gonna put it in decent to bite. Because you don't know for sure until you've bitten it, and by then it's already too late. Oh, I'm gonna go on a miniature tangent here too, actually. The worst thing about biting apples, other than the squeak, is that sometimes you can't tell what it's like under the surface until you've already bitten it, and then you have biter's remorse, and nobody wants biter's remorse. No, no, no. Because it looks fine, it looks beautiful, it's gorgeous on the surface, and then, bam, you take one bite and the whole thing's brown underneath. Oh. Yeah, the secret. Oh, they're hiding. They're just pretending that they're good apples, and it's like, psych, tricked you. I'm poisoned. You're dead now. It's like, oh, great. Now my plans are ruined because I'm dead. How dare you, Apple? You betrayed me. You know, just for that, we're moving you down to it depends. It depends. That's what we're doing. Yeah. You've lost your decent to bite status, apples. You've tricked me one too many times. I've had to throw out like 3 apples in one bunch that I bought because of that. Ugh, it's not worth it. I was gonna put candy apples on here as well, but I decided I would try to avoid being redundant because, as you'll see down below, I have 2 different kinds of ice cream. Okay. We're moving on to a big one. This one is gonna take quite some time. People! Yeah, right out of the gate, we're putting people on this list. But where do they go? So the first thing you have to keep in mind with biting a person is that there's a lot of different places to bite. There are a lot of unsavory places to bite, and there's a lot of great places to bite. So, right off the bat, let's just start at the top. Hair. Don't bite hair. Just don't do it. Hair is, no. Don't even, no. Especially don't bite my hair, my ahoge. Don't, no, ew. You're gonna get a hairball. It doesn't even taste good. The texture's not good. And, like, you don't know how long ago they washed their hair. And shampoo isn't good for you. Don't bite hair. Just don't do it. And I know a lot of people, like, used to suck on hair when they were younger, but don't do it. You're not a cat. Don't. My cat, you remember my cat. She used to suck hair. And it was because it was, like, a maternal thing. Like, she might have been taken away from her mom too soon, so she was, like, kneading and, like, pretending to, like breastfeed. So it was nice because it was like, aw, she loves me and she considers me a caregiver of sorts. But then it's also like, my hair is now covered in drool. Thank you for doing this to me. Now I have to shower, and you know how much I like showering. So anyway, hair is a no-go. Alright, let's move down. Face. Okay, so face. Most of the face, don't bite it. No, no one likes it. No one thinks it's sexy. Ears? Ears are okay. Just nibble, though. No biting. Just a nibble. Nibble here or there. Noses? No. You're trying to be cute? You're trying to bite someone's nose? You're trying to be Jack Frost? No, don't do it. Snot comes out of there. Don't bite that. Lips, on the other hand. So lips. Yeah. Lips can be something you can bite. And we'll get, there's a very important message after I finish going over the body, but, you know, lips, that's, yeah, you can bite someone's lips. And then moving down, we go to the neck. This is another very good place to bite. Many people are game for that. Good times all around. Shoulders. Yeah, they're also a pretty good place to bite. Just, for most of these things, don't bite too hard. Because, it's gonna be a bad time. And, I'll just say the note now. The consent part. You must ask the person first if you can bite them. You must be sure and clear that you can bite them. And it's even better if you ask where you can bite them. Because otherwise, that's just not cool. People don't like surprise bites. Surprise bites are only fun when you expect them. Alright, moving down the body, we go to the chest. Again, pretty good spot. Good spot to bite. We move to the arms. Yeah, those are pretty safe for biting as well. The elbows. No, just don't bite joints. You're not gonna get a good taste, and it's not gonna sink in or anything. Don't bite that. The hands. I mean, nibbling fingers is okay, I suppose. Some people like to have their finger, like, all the way in someone's mouth, so as long as they're game, like, do it, go for it. Stomachs? Yeah, maybe. Yep. And then, private parts, we're not gonna go into that. Thighs, pretty good spot. Calves, pretty good spot. Knees, again, don't bite joints, don't do it. Ankles, if you want to be an ankle biter, I suppose. And feet. I don't recommend it. People walk on those. You don't know where that's been. So ultimately, biting people is gonna go in, it depends. Because there's just way too much yes, and then also way too much no. And the main thing is consent. You need that consent before you bite. Do not bite without asking. Okay, we're moving off of that topic and then back to food. So we have cotton candy. So, I have a sweet tooth, so I quite like cotton candy. I think it's delicious. And the texture's really nice. It's very pretty, and it comes in a variety of flavors. I actually went to a store recently, and they had some pretty crazy flavors for cotton candy. They had, like, let me think. Cookies and cream, which is really good. They had pina colada, peanut butter, but then they had, like, hot sauce and, like, roast chicken and, like, dill pickle, and it's like, well, okay, I mean, I'll try it. I won't object, I'll try it. I was a coward this time around and didn't buy any of those, though. I bought pina colada, which was really tasty. Yeah, they were at a dollar store. Maybe if you come and visit me, we'll have a cotton candy party. And there was like root beer and like caramel apple and like more traditional stuff, but then like super weird ones. Yes, yes, come, wahaha, cotton candy party. So what I'm gonna say about cotton candy though, it's not good to bite. I'll just be honest, it's just not. Like, have you ever tried biting cotton candy? That's not what it's for. You tear it, and then it melts in your mouth. Don't bite it. Especially, like, if you bite it directly into it, it leaves, like, a big, wet bite mark in the middle of your cotton candy. Why would you do that? No. Don't do that. Don't bite cotton candy. I don't recommend it. It's not a good time. Eating it is fine, but biting it, nah. Hello, hello! Hello, Adrian. We are ranking, biting things. So, we just ranked, cotton candy as not good to bite. Because, yeah, it's really not. Like, it just, you leave a bite mark, a wet bite mark in your cotton candy, and it's just a bad time. It's tasty to eat, but you rip it off and then you eat it. Don't bite it. Coconut spotted. So I have a lot of controversial takes when it comes to biting things. A lot of people are like, I don't want to bite coconut. It tastes like tree bark. It's like, I love that. The texture's great. Fight me. Yeah. Yeah, like, there's no upside to biting cotton candy. Especially since it's so easy to just rip apart and put in your mouth. Don't bite it. Stop. Ever, like, crumpled up cotton candy and then bitten that? Oh! I've never done that, actually. Like, does that make it more solid? Because I would try that. Agreed! Coconut's so good. I know so many people that are like, oh, if there's coconut on it, I won't eat it. And it's like, but it's so good though. Like the taste and the texture. I love the texture. It's just like a fun little surprise. Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. Like a hyper dense ball of sugar. Spruce bark. Oh my gosh. Okay, now I really want to try that. I live in Canada, so I should just eat all the trees. Why not? Knowing me though, I'd probably bite the one tree that's not safe for eating. Although, I will say, so, because my birth month is May 25th, my, birth flower is the lily of the valley, which is a poisonous plant. So, one time I was laughing because they're like, oh, it's a poisonous plant. And I'm like, well, who's ever gonna try to eat a flower? Like, why would anyone try to do that? And then, later in life, like years later, I was in one of those flower nurseries. And sure enough, Lily of the Valley was there, and I'm like, oh, it's my birth flower. Ah! And I pretended to eat it, and then I'm like, oh, wait, crap. I'm gonna die if I do that. No. Bad, Nommle, bad. Don't bite that. So I was the one that I was judging earlier. There's a new beetle. There's a new beetle, and its name is Nommle. No trees are safe. Alright, let's go to the next one. Alright, moving on. So, ice cream. Yeah, I'm not even gonna talk about it. We're just gonna move on. Okay, ice cream. So you'll notice there's two different ice creams here. There's soft serve and there's regular ice cream. So we're gonna already people are making their opinions known. Yes. So this one's the more solid of the two. And I'm just gonna I agree. Do not bite. Looking at some rando in the eyes and grinning. Just disturb everyone in the premises by being like, see this ice cream? And just, how? And just eat it. It's like, yep. Yep. I'm a bad arse. Look at me go. I'm so bad. I'm so cool. We did that with lettuce. Never forget. Never forget the lettuce incident. The biting of the lettuce. The lettucing. Something that makes me upset is, a lot of ice cream, they'll put, like, gumballs in it. Especially the harder stuff. They'll be like, oh, it's bubblegum ice cream. Why would you do that? That's a horrible idea. You're just asking for brain freeze. That's awful. Like, the ice cream is delicious, and the gumballs are so good, but why would you combine them? Oh, you're making puns over there, I see. Ugh. Let us forget your puns. Yeah, I stole your pun. Oh, ha, ha. I'm the streamer. Let it happen. It's already happened. It's too late. Okay, now we're gonna talk about soft serve ice cream. I know they're pretty much the same thing, but I would argue soft serve ice cream is a lot easier on the teeth than the harder stuff. And sometimes you have to get a good munch in because it just melts way too fast. So, therefore, this ice cream is gonna go to decent to bite. It's not as cold, it's nice and soft, it's got a good taste, good texture. If they put stuff in it, that's fine. It's a lot better. They use this stuff for like McFlurries and things. It's just a better time in general. So decent bite. Next up is ice cubes. Okay. So I know people like to bite ice cubes. I know this. I've witnessed it. I've done it. And again, I've bitten everything on this list at least once. So, what's your opinion, chat? Do you guys think that the ice cubes are good for biting? Because I know this one is pretty up there. It's pretty in the air. Because like when you're drinking something and then it's in your mouth, sometimes you just gotta crunch it. Just crunch, crunch. Ice cubes are good for biting. Oh, there are different types of ice cubes. Very true. There's the ones that are round, and then there's these nice square ones. Some are better than others. Yeah, I agree. And for me, it really depends on my mood. Do I feel like crunching an ice cube, or do I just feel like letting it melt in my glass? Some are better, yeah. Only the true cubes, not that crap, not the rounded ones. It must be a full cube. Alright, so if we're gonna base it off of my little ranking system, so the biting process at the time is pretty good. I would say it's decent. The aftermath, sometimes brain freeze, but I would argue less brain freeze than ice cream, because it doesn't all encompass your teeth. Sometimes though, it's also hard to bite. So we got a lot of sometimeses going on here. So I'm stuck between decent to bite and it depends. I'm thinking maybe it depends, because I just have to be in the mood for it, you know? Can't just chomp an ice cube and then we're done and then we're good. I think we're putting you in it depends. Alright. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. I'm sticking with my guns. Oh, whoops. You're not mushrooms. Only mushrooms gets the box of shame. Alright. Da-da-da-da! Can anyone guess what these are without me telling you? And I'll give you a hint. It's not chocolate. And I'll give you another hint. They're often in Chinese food. So, can anyone guess what these are? They're also very controversial when it comes to biting. Just in terms of people's opinion on them. Any guesses? Any guesses? Mm-hmm. No guesses? My picture is pretty small here. They're usually in Chinese stir fry, for example. And I believe I think they're either a nut or a vegetable. It's hard to say. I didn't look it up. Here, I'm gonna quickly look it up. Give me a sec. Let's look it up. Okay, cool. I've discovered. Alright, so the internet tells me they're a vegetable, but I'm gonna give you props, Necroaudiosis, because they do have nut in their name. They are water chestnuts. So you often find them in Chinese food. There's little circular, flat, they look like these. And they usually in Chinese food, so they usually have other stuff with them. They have a very subtle taste, because they basically taste like nothing. Making a table out of them using epoxy and you'll have a veggie table. Oh my gosh. Yes. Vegetable. Oh yes, so clever. So clever. You can make anything out of epoxy. Like, you can make tables out of anything. But should you, is the question. Okay, yes, so. I know a few people in my life that really don't like to eat water chestnuts. They don't like the texture. They don't like the lack of taste. Not to the point that they'll pick them out of their food. They'll kind of just suffer and eat them. Because they're not that offensive. I'm actually gonna put this right up here. I love biting water chestnuts. It is such a satisfying crunch. It just feels so good between my teeth. It's a great time. And they're usually, they don't have much flavor, so anything you put on them, they will taste like. So it's just flavor and texture, and it's glorious. I adore it so much. Yeah, exactly. It's all about the texture. Some of the things I love to bite don't have much taste, but the texture is glorious. So this is our first best to bite. Love it so much. Ugh, I could go on and on about water chestnuts. I actually have a can of them right now in my cupboard that I haven't eaten yet. I'm just gonna eat them without anything else. Because why the heck not? I'm an adult, I do what I want. Alright, the next thing on our tier list. Da-da-da-da! Alright, so this is Caesar salad. There's a lot of stuff going on in Caesar salad, and this one has chicken in it. So you've got yourself the dressing, you got yourself the lettuce, you got yourself some chicken, sometimes there's tomatoes, sometimes there's some cheese sprinkled on there, sometimes there's carrots. You can have all kinds of things in a Caesar salad. But yeah, it's quite popular, I'd say. And the chicken is quite nice in the Caesar salad. A lot of people I know really like Caesar salad. They like how all the textures combine, and they think it's a nice, delicious little salad. Simple, basic, straightforward. What are your opinions on Caesar salad? I specifically picked Caesar salad for a reason. But, any Caesar salad fans in the chat? Oh, you like Caesar salad? Nice. Croutons! Oh, croutons are so good. I really should have put croutons just by itself, because I could just eat those without anything. Croutons are top tier. Caesar salad is only high tier. Okay. Based. So, I'm just gonna put this in Do Not Bite. And do you know why I put this in Do Not Bite? Because this is my tier list, and I don't like the anchovies. I really don't like the anchovies. And I bet some of you are wondering, there's no Caesar salad with anchovies in it. If you did not make the dressing, there is anchovies in it. Do you know those little black dots in your Caesar salad? That's anchovies. And every time I take a bite out of Caesar salad, the little texture of anchovies gets stuck between my teeth, and I hate it. I just hate it so much. Oh, I'm sorry. Have I ruined Caesar salad for you? You can make your own dressing, and you don't have to put anchovies in it. Then you'll be fine. So yeah, I can't stand Caesar salad. I feel like every time I'm eating it, like there's dirt in it. I hate it. It just makes me upset. And now I've ruined it for some of you. I've seriously gone to people's houses before and they're like, oh, would you like some Caesar salad? And I'm like, sure, are there anchovies in it? And they'll be like, no, there's no anchovies. I made it myself. And it's like, okay, did you make the dressing yourself? And then they're like, well, no, I bought that. It's like, then there's anchovies in it. They're like, what the heck? They check the dressing. Sure enough, there's anchovies in it. So yeah, Do Not Bite. Not for me. 0 out of 10. Would not bite. No. I'll eat it without the dressing. I like salad on a normal day. I also love croutons, as you guys were saying. Croutons are best to bite. If they were on this list, that's where they'd be. Alright, we're moving on to a non-food item again. Pens. So lots of people like to bite pens. Whether they like it or not, or they're just biting it because it's a habit, or it's like something they do for stimming. Pens are something that people will sink their chompers into. They will munch, they will crunch. They just have a great time with them pens. So let's consider a few things with pens. So the process of biting a pen, the pleasure of pen biting. So you're thinking it's plastic, so you're biting into plastic. Your teeth can't go in very deep, but some of these have a nice rubber texture to them, so they might feel nice between your teeth. Yum, Adrian says yum, yes. And, like, it's a stimming sort of thing. You do it because it calms you down, maybe. You're not doing it consciously, so maybe you're not even realizing that you're biting it, or maybe you're not even understanding the feel or the texture. You're not really thinking about it. Oh, you used to be bad with pens. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, like, when you get that little thing at the top there, the little, what's it called? It's not a handle, but it's the little hook thing. And you play with that and you flick it around, and then just it snaps one day and you don't realize you were doing that until it's broken already. Although I find a lot of people, if they're gonna chew a pen, they're gonna chew the top of the pen. The annihilator of pens. The Terminator of pens. So, this one here, the act of biting it is more of a stimming simulation thing, I would say. So it's less about the pleasure of biting it and more about, like, the release, I guess. Like, you're stimming, you're getting your anxiety through this other medium. But then there's the aftermath. People will judge you for biting your pen. If you lend someone that pen and it's got bite marks all over you, they're gonna give you a look. And me personally, I don't like using pens that have bites all over them. Surprise, surprise. So I'm gonna say, for me, not good to bite. And if it's happened once, it ruins it forever. If you bite that pen and it explodes, you're never biting a pen again. Ink does not taste good. Ink tastes terrible. And it's probably bad for you. I haven't looked it up, but it's probably bad for you. Pencils? Pencils I would probably rank the same, personally. Especially the eraser part. I think the eraser part would be a little bit nicer than the actual pen, but the aftermath is still there. You're still gonna have people looking at you weird and getting mad at you for lending them a busted pen or a bit-up pencil. So I'm gonna put that in the same little tier. Alright, here's a new one. Gumballs! They are made for biting. You're supposed to bite these bad boys a lot. That's like... gumballs, that's like half of the appeal. You're supposed to munch and crunch them the whole time. And then you can blow bubbles with them, so it's even better. And they're nice and tasty. And if they're the ones that are that have some stuff in the middle of them, that's always a fun treat. And then like some of them, like there's been some that have like powdered stuff inside and it's delicious. Or even if it's just empty and you bite through it and it just like splits in half between your teeth, that feels so good. And your jaw gets tired in like 5 minutes. Yeah, so now you're bringing up the bad times. Yeah, so the joy of biting a gumball doesn't last very long. It's a nice joy while it lasts, but it's very fleeting. Because, yeah, your jaw gets tired, and sometimes they're way too sweet, so your teeth can get sore, and then you're just left with a tasteless lump that you have to find out what to do with. You can't just eat gum and then that's it. No, you have to make an escape plan. You have to plan ahead of time where the gum's gonna go before you even put it in your mouth. Because if you're gonna have gum anywhere, like, that's in your mouth. That's in your mouth always, unless you swallow it, and I don't think anyone should swallow gum. I don't know. It's different for each gum, I find. I've had some gumballs that, like, the flavor lasted so long. And then, they were nice and soft after, so it doesn't hurt your jaw too much. But then I've had others that are just like, this is the hardest gumball I've ever bitten into in my entire life. And it's a chore to eat, and it's awful, and I hate it. And then, let's talk about the aftermath of gumballs a little bit, too. Because if you eat a gumball, and you're in a social situation, people are gonna judge you if you're gonna be biting on a gumball while talking to them. Or if you have a speech or something, and you're chewing gum the whole time and you forgot it was in your mouth. That's gonna be a bad impression. Found gumballs to be too small in terms of the gum amount. Yeah, that's valid too. You have to have like 4 of them in order to get a good bubble. And then it's just a weird, ugly brown color that you've mushed together. So, I think with gumballs, I'm gonna put it in decent to bite. There are a lot of downsides, but the initial bite for me is just so good. Like, you just crunch the candy outside and then there's just a nice soft inner side. I think that's worth to put decent to bite, but not great to bite. Just decent. Okay, we're on to our next target. Corn! And I specifically picked corn on the cob. Because this one, it's all about biting. You can't eat this without biting it. It is not possible. I suppose you could use a knife or something, but if you do that then you might be a psychopath. I don't make the rules, that's just how it is. So, let's talk about the flavor and the lead up. If you get some butter on these and some salt, and they're nice and cooked on a barbecue, they've got that nice smoky texture, that smoky taste. The smell is just so nice, and you can only these are the best on a summer day. They're pretty good during the fall as well. Having a hot corn on the cob. Ugh, so good. Top tier, and I'm passionate about it. Fight me. Sorry for yelling. You are forgiven. I should have read that yelling. Corn is top tier, and I'm passionate about it. Fight me. That's my impression of you. What did you think? So we've talked about the flavor. The flavor, it's sweet. It's delicious. It's usually buttery. Got some salt on it normally. And you don't even need butter or salt to make it taste good. It's still sweet. It still stands up on its own. And you can cook this in a variety of ways. So corn already is pretty up there in terms of quality. And now, the process of biting it. That's just a good time. Biting into a corn cob is just fun. You're told not to play with your food as a kid. Well, the whole process of eating corn on a cob is like playing with your food. And every time I watched old Mickey Mouse cartoons, he'd always be, although in my world he wasn't called Mickey Mouse. He was called Moomy Mouse. So Moomy Mouse, he would eat the corn on the cob like a typewriter when I watched him. So I tried to imitate that when I was little. I just nom 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 in a row, and then just flip it, and then nom 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 nom. And it was like a game. Like, how do you eat your corn? Do you eat it one row at a time? Do you just kind of have at it? Like, what do you do? So the process of biting it and munching it is really good. So I would put it in best to bite. However, we must also consider the consequences. If you eat corn on the cob, you're probably going to get it stuck in your teeth. You're going to get a lot of it stuck in your teeth. And that's no fun. That doesn't drag it down very far, but that does put it in great to bite, rather than best to bite. You eat corn like a lawnmower. Yeah, that is the best way to eat it. How many rows at a time do you do, though? Because I do, I think I do 3 rows at a time. Then I can savor it longer, it lasts more. So good, so good. I love corn. Though, have you ever had corn juice before? Because Japan, for some reason, thinks that corn juice is a great idea. So I decided I was gonna try it. Because I'm one of those people that see something weird and I'm like, yeah, I'm game. I'll try that. Bring it on. So it was just corn juice. There was nothing added. It was just corn juice. So the first sip I was like, huh, not bad. Interesting, but not bad. The second sip I was like, oh my goodness, this is awful. What the heck? The third sip I'm like, this is pretty good. I could drink all of this. Why am I enjoying it on the third sip? And then the fourth sip I'm like, no, this is just a bad time. I was just fooling myself with the third sip. This is not a good time at all. This is weird. Why am I drinking corn juice? It's like someone squeezed corn into a bottle and they're like, here, it's a beverage. And I'm like, no, that's not a beverage, that's nightmare. That's pure nightmare. It is weird. So I did manage to finish it, but it was pain, I will say. That's true. Yeah, corn syrup is in most things, actually, not just pop. So yeah, that's where corn on the cob resides. Great to bite. If it weren't for the kernels and everything getting stuck in your teeth, it would be a lot higher. Okay, our next victim. So I'm gonna say that this is 2 different things because they have roughly the same texture. So this is fudge or fudge brownies. It's both. The picture is of fudge, but we're gonna say that it's both fudge and fudge brownies. So, and specifically we're gonna say it's warm. Because I don't know about you, but warm fudge and warm brownies? Oh, they're so good. Why are they so good? It's like biting into heaven. Every single bite is just so soft and smooth and ugh. Or brownies with fudge in them. Fudge brownies. And they just pull apart and they just melt in your mouth and the taste is delicious and the texture is delicious. It was such a good time. I love them. If I could eat them, I would. All the time. I would never stop eating them. So, yeah. There is a downside. But I'm gonna say that the downside is not enough to dox points. Because it's not a downside that really matters much. The downside to eating fudge and fudge brownies is that it's gonna be on your teeth. You're gonna have brown teeth and you're gonna look weird. But I feel like most people that eat it kind of bite it with the understanding that that's gonna happen. So they don't they don't let themselves continue to have brown teeth. We're putting you in best to bite. Even though I can't consume you, you are still great to bite. Alright, our next victim. Bacon! Bacon, 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 bacon. Beer can. If you say beer can with an English accent, it sounds like you're saying bacon with a Jamaican accent. Beer can. Beer can. Oh, great tier. How do you guys like your bacon? Do you prefer crispy only, or do you like it slightly soft? Do you like it with a little bit of wobble in it, or do you like it super stiff? Or hey, maybe you put some salt and pepper on it. Or hey, maybe you like it a little burnt. Wiggly! Oh, wiggly! Some wiggly bacon lovers over there. Oh, crunch. Wiggly, wiggly, crunch. Now the question is there a bad bacon? Is there a type of bacon that's bad? Like Obviously uncooked is bad, but that's that's like obvious. That would be true with all of these things. And then it wiggled away, wiggle wiggle, till the very next day. Bum 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 bum. Now the bacon went to the lemonade shop. Canadian bacon. Adrian, those are fighting words. I'm gonna learn how to play War Thunder just to gun you down for that. No, I kid. I don't like maple bacon, though. I'm not a fan. When I eat bacon, I expect bacon to be, like, salty and savory. I don't expect it to be sweet. So, like, candy bacon and maple bacon, I'm not big on it, personally. Regular bacon all the way. And, also there's thick-cut bacon as well, which is just a whole other situation. War Thunder is for weirdos to leak military secrets. And I don't think Nommle would do that. I might do that. I just don't have any military secrets. Also, Minecraft is where you leak the military secrets. That's where they get leaked. Alright, so with our discussion of bacon, I would say there's only one type of bacon that I would say is bad bacon. Like, that I wouldn't eat. And that's, like, burnt beyond recognition bacon. A little bit burnt bacon is like, fine. But burnt beyond recognition, I'm not a fan of eating charcoal. Call me unbased if you so wish. Hey, we're putting bacon in best to bite. That crunch is just too good. And I love crispy, and I love wiggly, and I love slightly burnt is fine. And, like, Canadian bacon is good, and thicker bacon is good. There's not been a bacon that I haven't eaten and enjoyed. Even maple bacon. I don't hate it. I'd eat it. If it's there, I'll have it. Alright, next up. Gingerbread houses. Okay. So, when you're a kid, you see a gingerbread house for the first time, and you get so excited, because you're like, oh my goodness, it's a house made of cookies, and icing, and gumdrops, and joy. And you get to make it yourself. You can design a miniature getaway vacation home out of food that you get to later eat. So if you want to put icing all over that, and just say it's a design choice so you can hog all the icing to yourself, you can do that. No one's gonna stop you. You're a child. They can take the icing out of my cold, dead hands. And then you finish making your house, and you're so proud. You made a little dog house beside it for the little fake dog that you made out of gumdrops. And it's quaint. And, like, sure, the other kid made a better one than you, but he's better at everything than you are, so you'd let it slide. And then you take it home, and you get to look at it throughout all the holiday season. And you see it there, and it's looking just as good as when you made it. And you just have all these memories and treasures. But then Christmas is coming to an end, and you're not sure if you want to eat it, or if you want to just savor looking at it. But you do have pictures of it, so it's okay to eat. So you take off the roof, which has the most icing of anything, and you sink your teeth into it. And it's stale as hell, and the icing tastes like crap, and any gumballs that you've put on it are now rock hard, and any gumdrops that you thought would be delightful are the lowest tier gumdrops you've ever had in your whole life. It's a nightmare. So you decide you're gonna try one of the cookie people. They're even harder than the house. It's like they've been in the package for decades. It's like, holy heck, who thought this was edible? This isn't edible. This is just a trick to get kids to sit quiet for 5 minutes. And then when they try to eat it, they're met with sadness and despair. And you discover that's because this house was 2 years ago. And they decided they were just gonna sell it anyway because no one buys a gingerbread house to eat it. Who would do that? No one's crazy. I was crazy. Never again. Do not bite. Yeah, they're so disappointing. So disappointing. So yeah, you just walk down a a sad childhood experience with me. I thought the icing would make it better because I coated mine in icing, but no, it made it worse, honestly. Ugh, it put me off gingerbread for the longest time. I thought all gingerbread was like that, but then someone gave me gingerbread like that was soft. They gave me a little soft gingerbread man. Changed my life forever. Soft gingerbread is where it's at. Never ever eat a gingerbread house. It's pain. It's so bad. Okay, and with that terrible experience out of the way. Yes, the soft gingerbread man. If they were on this list, they'd be in best to bite, but they're like way too similar to something else on our list, so I didn't put them, or I would have if that were the case. Okay. Oh, actually, before that, when you eat a gingerbread man, what part do you eat first? Because I eat the eyeballs so that they can't see their fate. Oh yeah. Too spicy. Much too spicy. Yikes, yikes. Have you tried the soft gingerbread? Because it's not that spicy. Pretty tasty. I like it. But yeah, I eat the gingerbread people's eyes first. Because then they can't see their fate. Then they're surprised about what comes next. They keep shrinking. Goodness. And then after the eyes, I think I eat the arms. And then after the arms, I eat the legs, and then I eat the head. Although when I was little, I used to eat the head right away because I thought that would put them out of their misery so they wouldn't suffer through the rest of it. And then I just got more sadistic with time. I'm not a sadist. What are you talking about? Only sometimes. Okay, we move on. Okay, so speaking of cookies, we were speaking of cookies, right? So these are fresh out of the oven chocolate chip cookie. So they're the type that when you pull them apart, the chocolate trails between the two halves. And the chocolate is ooey and it's warm and the cookie is soft and it's also warm. And when you dip it into milk, it soaks up some of the milk, so when you bite them together, it's just delightful. No one even doubts it. This is just top tier. Best to bite. So good. Oh. So, there are bad types of chocolate chip cookies, but I put this kind in because I think they're more noteworthy. Some of them taste like pucks. Some of them are rock hard, and when you bite into them, your teeth vibrate from the pain. But I think most chocolate chip cookies I've had are this type of chocolate chip cookie. And so some of you may not know, Adrian specifically, I can't eat chocolate. There's a bunch of stuff I can't eat. Because when I was coming through from the video game, I kind of got stuck a little bit, and I think that glitched out my gut, so now there's a lot of stuff that I can't eat that I used to be able to eat when I was in the video game. So one of those things is chocolate, unfortunately. But if I want to eat it, I could just go back in the game, and then I'm pretty fine, but it's not the same. Anyway, so there's actually something called carob, and let me just look up what it is. I think it's a nut. Carob. Yeah. So it's a plant. It's a tree or shrub. Yeah. And what carob does is it tastes like chocolate, so they make chocolate chips out of it, and it doesn't make me sick. And it acts a lot like chocolate in baking as well, so it's a good alternative. Okay, we've got so many top tiers now. Look at us go. 2 of them are chocolate. Okay, this next one. So this is tapioca pudding. So it's got those tapioca pearls in it. They're really tiny ones. And it's like a vanilla pudding with the tapioca in it. So every little bite you've got little pearls that explode between your teeth. Alright. Let's see some opinions on this one. Who here enjoys tapioca pudding? Boba type beet? Yeah, it's similar to boba, but it's, because they are tapioca pearls, but they're really small. They're not quite as large. So you get a lot more in each bite. And this pudding specifically tastes very vanilla-y from what I've enjoyed in the past. And it's kind of, I don't know how to say it. It's like, I find that older people really enjoy it. But, my opinion of it personally, I'm not a fan. When I eat pudding, I don't want little bits of stuff in it. Because that's not what I consider pudding. It's just like an uncomfortable surprise. Like, the texture's weird on your tongue, and when you bite it, it feels kind of weird. Like, the popping of the tapioca pearls just doesn't resonate with me as well. Like, when I'm eating something smooth like this, I don't want it to have little bits of stuff in it. So it's a personally, yeah, I don't recommend it. I don't think it's very good. So I'm gonna put this in not good to bite. I think it's worth trying at least once. But after that, then you've kind of experienced it. I'm not that big on stuff like yogurt or pudding that has little bits of stuff in it. Just not big on it. It's not my thing. Now... Okay, this one is weird. This one's super weird. I'm gonna have to explain. Okay, so how many of you have been to the dentist and had your teeth polished? Because that's what this is. This is toothpaste, but it's like tooth polish that they specifically use at the dentist office. So, after they've done a cleaning or a checkup, what they'll do is they'll put this on one of their little rubbery polishers, and then they'll start polishing your teeth up. And if they don't get all of it out of your mouth, it's super gritty. So if you bite your teeth together after cleaning and they haven't rinsed your mouth thoroughly enough, you will feel the grit between your teeth. You can feel it just by talking about it. So this is on here for a reason. There's a variety of different flavors. It comes from minty, and it sometimes tastes like berries, and it sometimes tastes like pina colada or like tutti frutti. They have all kinds of flavors you can choose from. The flavors are usually middling tier. They're not bad, but they're not great. I don't usually recommend like the cherry because it usually tastes like cough syrup. Oh no, I'm making you all flee for the hills. Okay, so... Oh, more of them are okay. Get that abomination out of here. Okay, so... I'm gonna put it... here. So this is on here because I like it. I like it. I think it feels cool. When I was little, I used to lie to the dentist. I used to tell them that they got it all out because I wanted to put my teeth together and feel it. And even today, I really like it. Like, I'll leave the dentist and I'll put my teeth together and then I'll feel that grit and I'll be like, this is what a clean mouth feels like. So yeah, that's why this is on here. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, we're moving on. Oh, wet bread? Oh no. Why isn't that on this tier list? That would go by do not bite, clearly. Soggy bread. Although if I put everything that was bad soggy, this list would be way too long. I'd be doing this list for months. Alright. Popcorn time. Again, there's a lot of different types of popcorn. So we're gonna say that this popcorn is the kind that you microwave in a bag, and then it becomes popcorn. Because there's movie theater popcorn, there's like gourmet popcorn that's a lot more puffier, there's caramel popcorn, there's too many popcorns to decide between. New Zealand delicacy. Oh my gosh. Soggy bread, what did they put in you? Soggy bread, soggy bread. No. Just no. Which part of the bag? Start of the bag or the end of the bag? Start of the bag is top tier, end of the bag is it depends. Oh yeah. Well, usually when I make it, I shake it up, so there's a lot of flavoring throughout the whole bag. And you can always put, like, whatever you want on it. You can put more salt, you can put real butter, you can put those mixes on there. I have a friend that only ever puts the dill pickle stuff on her popcorn and then eats it that way, otherwise she won't eat it. Okay, so we're gonna talk popcorn. So the popcorn sensation of eating it, great. The way it just crunches in your mouth. And then when you bite apart the little soft part, and then it melts in your mouth, that's a great feeling. I love that. What I would sometimes, actually I still do this, I sometimes bite off the hard parts of the popcorn and then keep a little pile of them in my hand of just the soft parts. And then I pop those all in my mouth at the same time and just let them melt. That's a lot of fun. If ever you can have fun eating something, the biting is great. So I would say that the biting process of popcorn is it's really top tier. Yeah, I agree. I like kernels too. And I like burnt popcorn too. Like, it melts more because it's burnt, so it melts faster. It's great. I like it a lot. So that's the eating process. Then let's talk about the aftermath. So this would be best to bite if it were not for kernels in your teeth. I'm sorry, popcorn. You suffer from the same thing as corn on the cob. Getting kernels stuck in your gums is the worst. I hate it so much. Ugh, so bad. Bad time. 0 out of 10. Burnt isn't bad, but can easily ride the line of being great to terrible. Yeah, I agree with that too. What I would sometimes do is, this is something I did when I was little because I've always been a gremlin. I've been a gremlin my whole life. Born half gremlin, always half gremlin. So I used to take popcorn and then I'd pop it up, and then the kernels at the bottom that didn't pop, if you try to pop them, they normally don't pop very well. But that being said, I would still pop them, and then they'd pop and they'd be really burnt. So what I would do is I would take a slice of cheese, and then with every bite of popcorn, I would put a bite of cheese in my mouth. And it was surprisingly good. I might even do it today. If I have popcorn. I don't think I have popcorn, or I would do that. Because it was good. Cheese and popcorn is an interesting, like, actually, like, hard cheese. Pretty good. I like it. Yeah. I'm always up for biting new things. Okay. Next thing. Pillow. Okay, next thing. tongue. So, biting your own tongue, we'll say. This one is obvious. I don't think we need to debate this one. Biting your own tongue is a bad time. Do not bite. Very ow. Ow, ow, ow. And you're always talking really fast because maybe you're passionate about something, so then just as like, ow, 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 oh, bit my tongue. And it hurts sometimes for days. Have you ever bit your tongue so hard that it bleeds? It is not a good time. Ugh. So yeah, biting of tongues is bad. I would say even like biting someone else's tongue, probably don't do that either. Unless that's the vibe. Don't do it. Just don't. Tongues are not for biting. Oh, isn't it how you're gonna bite it 2 more times? Yeah. Oh, I think the worst place on your tongue to bite is like the edge of it. Because it's a lot thinner and then it's more likely to bleed. I just Okay. Nails. Biting your nails. So this is another one like pens. It's kind of like a stim sort of thing. You do it because you're nervous, or you do it because, like, you're just not focusing on it, you're not thinking about it, you're just doing it as a habit. And, some people will bite them because they have to, like, they're out and about and their nail is like a hangnail, so they have to bite it off. And I think the most interesting thing is some people will eat it. And, yeah. So I would say that nobody that actually bites their nails would tell you they enjoy it. Because it's not something they do on purpose. And I don't bite my nails. Like, I've never bitten my nails. It's not been one of those habits I picked up. And I'm glad because, I have an addictive personality. So if I did it once, you know, I might never stop. Especially when it comes to biting things. So, I'm gonna just say, do not bite. If you have to, if it's a must do in that time, like if you have to get rid of a hangnail or else you're gonna snag it on fancy clothes, then go for it. But mostly don't don't bite your nails. Bad time. Someone I knew that used to bite their nails, they ended up putting some of that there's this stuff you can put on your nails. It's like nail polish, but basically what it does is it makes your nails taste horrible. So it's a great way to also, yeah, I'm very glitchy today, but I know why. I'll fix it. Just not today. This is a short stream anyway. Ugh, I'm just sometimes glitchy. I'm from a video game. It comes with the territory. But yeah, so it makes your nails taste really bad. So it really stops your habit right away. Okay. Can anyone guess what this is? Just from the very small little picture here. I'll put it back down so it's not transparent. Oh. Oh, it won't go back. Okay, well it's here now. Anyone guess what that is? It looks sort of like bugs, but I assure you it's not. So what it is it's a confection. The confectionery. It's very sweet. And it's very, very crunchy. And if you ever played Candyland, the board game, there's a character that's named after it. And her house is made out of it. My hints aplenty. So, what it is it's peanut brittle. So it's basically... Oh. You've never played Candyland. We have to change that. Except I don't own it, so you might have to find it somewhere. They'll probably have it at most thrift stores. So, candy, yeah, it's peanut brittle. So it's like a hardened sugar with peanuts in it. And it's really, really brittle, as the name would suggest. And it's super crunchy, and there's sometimes bubbles in it. Like really, really small bubbles from the sugar, when it's hardening. And basically you just lay out a sheet of sugar when it's still soft, and then you put peanuts in it, and that's peanut brittle. My bubbles! So peanut brittle, because I know a lot of people haven't had it. It's sweet, it has a nice taste, but the peanuts add a bit of a, like a, what is it, bitter kind of taste to it. So the taste is really good. But it is painful to bite. It is way too brittle. It's too brittle for older people, it's too brittle for younger people, it's not fun to bite. When you get a piece with a lot of peanuts in it, it's fine, because then it's mostly peanuts, so it doesn't hurt that much. Or when you get one that has a lot of bubbles in it, it's fine, because the bubbles kind of make it easier on the teeth. But I just don't think it's good to bite. I don't think so. Not a good time. The teeth will thank you if you do not bite peanut brittle. I don't recommend it. Hey, now we're moving on. Fried chicken. Fried chicken. I'm just gonna go out right of the gate. Fried chicken is very rarely done badly. It's just usually, like, if it's bad, it's usually because it's, like, not seasoned well or something. But most fried chicken I've had, I've enjoyed. So yeah, however, the best fried chicken I've ever had is the Korean fried chicken with the panko. So good. If you have not tried it, you have to. Necrotiosis, if you haven't tried it, we're eating it. It's happening. I deem it so, and so it shall be. So yeah, I'm just gonna... Best to bite. It's crunchy, it's flavorful, it opens up to juicy chicken inside. And, like, it's fun to eat, too, because you have to plan it out. You can't just take a bite, you have to plan. Am I gonna bite around the bone? Am I gonna eat the marrow? Who knows? I might. Who knows? Biting bones is nice. Just the whole process of biting and eating. And I can't think of any downside other than greasy hands. That's hardly a downside. Da-da-da. Now we're on to carrot cake. The cake of the carrot variety. So when you're little and you're told you're gonna eat cake, you get super excited. Because you know cake. You love cake. Cake's always at your birthday. And your birthday's the best time of the entire year, every year. Because people come and they give you presents. And they hang out with you, and the day's all about you. You get to be super selfish all day long. So when someone says, hey, do you want to try carrot cake? You're like, I like carrots. I like cake. This sounds like a match made in heaven. Who wouldn't enjoy carrot cake? I wouldn't enjoy carrot cake. I really wouldn't enjoy carrot cake because I felt betrayed as a child. You're eating it and you're expecting it to be nice and moist and be sweet because you love carrots and carrots have a nice sweetness to them. But it's like they took the worst part of both things and put them together. They're like, yeah, your carrot cake, it's not going to be moist at all. It's going to be really dry. You're not going to have a lovely time at all. And that icing, it's a lie. You think it's going to be nice and sweet. Most of the time it's also bland. And then you're biting the cake and a carrot surprises you. And it's not even sweet. It's flavorless. Somehow, the baking process has destroyed everything good about the carrot. So it's bad. Everything's bad about it. The texture's not what you expect. The taste is not what you expect. It's like carrots for boring old people. Well, it's cake for boring old people with carrots in it. I do not recommend. If you're gonna become old, don't become the type of old person that likes carrot cake. They don't care at all. That was clever. I'll give you that one. Well done. Alright. Next up. Some of these pictures are really hard to tell. This is beef jerky. So the beef jerky, there's a bunch of different varieties. There's the type that, there's deer jerky. There's just regular beef jerky. There's, like, other animal jerky. My brain. I can't. My brain. Basically, if it's an animal and you can eat it, there's probably a jerky of it. I've even had salmon jerky, I think. Maybe just candied salmon. It tasted like jerky, though. And there's so many varieties, too. There's the spicy stuff, there's just the salt and pepper, there's just original. I find that the best jerky of all time is homemade jerky. I used to, when I used to work at a clothing store, my boss would sometimes bring in jerky that she made, and she would hunt. So it was always fresh, it was always delicious deer jerky, and it was so good all the time. And when you bite into jerky, you get there's two different types. There's the really crispy, thinner stuff, and then there's the stuff that's got like it's more meaty, it's more thick. You really gotta gnaw into it. And when you're eating jerky, you kind of feel like an animal, because you have to tear into it with your teeth. You can't just bite it, you have to really rip it apart. And I find that experience joyful. I like jerky a lot. I'm gonna put it at great to bite, though. And do you know why? Because it is way overpriced. You will not find beef jerky for a low price. And I get it. They're putting high quality cuts, and then they're dehydrating them, and they're seasoning them, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of passion. But why am I spending $5 for a tiny pack of jerky that has 3 tiny pieces in it? Not worth it. No. Even for that small amount of joy, it's just not. Used to tell me that we got beef jerky from the scabs of our injuries. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh, I would have eaten way more scabs as a kid if that were the case. Because I love beef jerky. Would that... I don't know if that would have deterred me. I don't think they would have. It's so good. Just so expensive. I don't want to learn how to hunt just to get cheap jerky. No. That's too much effort. I don't want to do it. No. So, yeah, you get to be great to bite, but not perfect. Oh my gosh. You're growing some beef jerky. That's actually adorable. Something that my mom... actually, my mom didn't even tell me this. I just believed it. When I was little, I used to think that if you squeezed someone's hair, that would cause them pain. Like, they could feel you squeezing their hair. Like, not pulling it, but squeezing it. Like, haha, I'm causing you pain. And my mom's like, no, you're really not. That doesn't hurt. And then she would squeeze my hair to prove it. And I'd be like, that doesn't hurt at all. And she's like, see? But then I would still squeeze her hair. Yeah. You get it from your fascia. From your father. Alright, here's another odd one. So these are sesame seeds. And there are 2 different types of sesame seeds we'll talk about. We'll talk about the regular sesame seeds, and we'll talk about the toasted sesame seeds. They have a very different taste. Regular sesame seeds, if you eat a bunch of them, it tastes like sort of bitter and sort of sweet. But if you toast them, then they have that toasty texture as well, and that toasty taste. They're really small though, so if you're trying to bite them, it's a bit of a task. You can't just like bite them between your teeth normally. You have to really work for it. And a lot of the times you won't just eat sesame seeds as is, you'll eat them when they're part of other things. So they'll usually be on like a bun, or they'll be on the top of seafood or something, sushi, things like that. They're more so a garnish than something you would just take handfuls of and eat. So there's also those sesame seed snacks where they look like a little bar and you just munch. So what I'm gonna say is that I love biting sesame seeds. I don't care how much work it is. Sometimes I will even be eating like an A&W burger, and I'll just take some sesame seeds off, and I'll just eat them. Just bite them between my teeth. If I see it come off the burger, I will bite it between my teeth. It just makes such a satisfying pop. And they're crispy, and they taste good, and I just enjoy it a lot. It's more work, but it's worth it. I love biting sesame seeds. I am strange, is what this tier list is gonna tell everybody. I'm just odd. Okay. We're moving on. Potato chips. I'm including every type of potato chip in here. Every, like, we're thinking Ruffles, we're thinking Lay's. Though again, those don't have those names where I'm from, because the game wanted to avoid copyright infringement. So Ruffles here are called Frillies, and Lay's are called Sits. So I think Sits are my favorite because they have just a lot more flavor to them. And then they have my favorite flavor, the roasted chicken flavored Sits. Oh, so good. Except they're like a limited time thing. Back where I'm from. I think they're limited here. I think you guys have roasted. Oh, Lay's, right? Because I'm used to the names of things where I'm from. So it's like, oh, they're just Sits. So my favorite Sits, yeah, are the roasted chicken ones. And when I was younger, my friends and I, we would used to eat salt and vinegar Sits in our class. But we didn't want to get caught eating, so we called them knowledge. So what we would do is we would be like, hey, can you pass some knowledge over here? It's like, oh yeah, this is really good knowledge. We're really learning. It's like, yeah. The knowledge. So now I still call salt and vinegar Sits knowledge to this day. So yeah, crispy, delicious. You can eat them with other stuff. You can dip them into things. And when they're dipped into things, they're still really good. If we're talking like nacho chips, you can put salsa on them. You can put melted cheese with them. And I would even say that if they're a little soggy, they're still pretty okay. Like, they're not the worst. Some people like to turn them into mashed potatoes if they're soggy. I'm not one of those people. I prefer my mashed potatoes as actual mashed potatoes as opposed to mashed chips. But, so yeah, I would say chips. There's too many varieties to put it in best to bite, but yeah, we're just gonna put it in best to bite. Chips are top tier. There's so many different options and varieties. So many crispy things. Always a pleasure to eat them. And the only downside is that your hands get kind of greasy. But again, that's not enough of a downside to dock points. Oh, your nacho jokes. Nacho chips. So clever. Ha ha. This is me laughing. Ha 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 ha. Moving on. Okay. Here are French fries. French fries, French fries, French fries, or as the States called them for a short time, freedom fries. Fries are super versatile. Fries can be floppy, with McDonald's fries, which I love. Fries can be super crispy. You can make fries at home. There's thick wedges, there's lattice fries, there's curly fries, there's sweet potato fries. And I've not met a fry that I have not enjoyed. Depends on where they came from. True. Although I find if they don't have much flavor, if they're not good fries, just add more salt and then you're fine. Pachos are top tier. Agreed. Pachos are good. And there's just so much you can do with fries. And I love, some people think this is gross, but I think it's delicious if you dip fries in a milkshake. I think that's really good. The sweet and salty and the cold and the warm all together make something delicious and wonderful. So since fries are so versatile, And there's so many options, and most of them are just a banger. Best to bite. They get to be S tier. There's a lot of really, really good things to bite on this list here. Okay. Moving on. Octopus. We've got some seafood now. I would put more seafood, but I didn't want to put too many things on here. So we're just gonna put octopus in here. So I've had octopus in a variety of ways. I've had takoyaki, which are Japanese octopus balls. So, and we're gonna say octopus and squid are the same thing. I know they're not actually the same thing, but they have the same texture. So we're gonna put them as the same thing. So takoyaki, when you bite into takoyaki, you're just eating mostly breading, and it's pretty tasty. And then you get inside and you bite into something small and rubbery. And it surprises you. You're like, what? I know there's octopus in here, so that must be what that is. And it's got a bit of a fishy taste, but it doesn't take away from anything else. It's just kind of like a nice little surprise. When you eat octopus by itself, you're like, okay, interesting, not bad. Not great, but not bad. And then, if you eat calamari, it's really crispy, but there's still that kind of rubbery underneath. It's weird, but it's not a bad weird. So what I'm gonna say is we're putting this in decent to bite. It's not the best thing I've ever bitten, but I enjoy it, and I would bite it again. Now I would put shark on here, because I've also eaten shark, but I ate shark when I was very little, and it wasn't as much of a faux pas to eat shark. And it was actually very tasty. Also rubbery, but the taste was pretty darn good. It kind of had a chickeny taste, but it also tasted like fish. But it was like a nice balanced version of the two. It was kind of a subtle taste too. Yeah, sprinkled in other stuff. But it's not the best, but it never takes away from anything else. So I would say it's pretty darn good. Okay, next up. Poisson! Poisson! Here is the croissant. Here is the faded croissant. There are so many varieties of croissant. There's cheese croissant. There's powdered sugar croissant. Regular croissant. There's almond croissant. There's filled croissant. Ham and cheese croissant. Just many ways. You can turn a croissant into a sandwich if you so choose. You don't speak croissant, ha ha ha. But you just spoke it there. Checkmate. I think my favorite croissant is the cheese one. When I used to work at a fast food restaurant, so again, we don't have the stuff that you guys have in the game I'm from, so you probably won't recognize the name. But it was Tom Morton's. When I worked at Tom Morton's, I used to be the baker at Tom Morton's. So what I would do is I would make all the food for the store for the day. And whenever I made a croissant, I would always put a little bit more cheese than there was supposed to be. Because then it would come off the side and turn into crispy little cheese discs. And there was when I worked at Tom Hortons for a while, they had a policy where if you spent $2 per shift, you could eat whatever the heck you wanted all day. So I would eat the little crispy cheese bits, and I would regret nothing. But then when they changed that policy, I'd have to eat the crispy cheese bits without without anyone seeing. I had to do it sneakily. Oh, but I wore gloves, and I didn't actually touch, like, the croissant with my mouth, so it was just, I would snap off the cheese bit, I would put the croissants aside, and then I'd eat the cheese bits. So, it wasn't unsanitary or anything. It was my little way of rebelling against the man. Yeah, good old Tommies. Gotta be sneaky. And no one ever caught me. I would always, whenever I would make cookies, though, because there's a few things at Tom Hortons where, like, they're frozen and then you kind of defrost them. But for cookies, they're frozen as dough. So you basically are just cooking them or baking them. So whenever I would make cookies, I would always tell everybody in the store, it's like, hey, the cookies are fresh. If you want them fresh and warm and pull apart, now's the time. And I would always make an extra one so I could eat it. It was so good. Okay, so croissant. It's when you pull it apart, it's got those soft layers inside. It's super crispy. Every single variety is delicious. If you make it into a sandwich, it's better than regular bread. There's just, oh, it's so good. Best to bite. So good. Nom 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 nom. Just give me that. Put that in my mouth. You've never had a bad... Yeah, neither have I. They're all just good. Even ones that I've made myself from, like, the Pillsbury Doughboy things, those ones are good too. And, like, I remember making, spinach puffs once. And, like, so good. They had the same, outer layer as a croissant. And, oh, so good. So good. Alright, the last thing on our list. Pineapple. I've got a pen. I've got an apple. Apple pen. I've got a pen. I've got pineapple. Pineapple pen. Pen, pineapple, apple pen. Da, 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 da. Pineapple's so juicy. You bite into it and it's a dream. So much juice. It's so good. And you're saying the thing that I was gonna say. It's the most metal of fruits. Not because it has metal in it, but because it's the only fruit that actively bites you back. The fruit that bites back. Pineapple. But it's so good. Ugh. Delicious. I don't ever recommend biting into it when it's not cut, because that will hurt you. They have their protective skin to protect them from people that are weird and biting pineapples whole. I kind of want to try it just to say I did. Like that one guy that bit into a banana without unpeeling it. I know that I shouldn't, but I want to try it just because then I can say I did. I'll bite it and you can't stop me! I am more pineapple now than Nommle. So the only thing with pineapple that makes it not top tier is the fact that when you cut it, if you don't cut all the little barbs off, it hurts a lot. It's gonna cut up your mouth, and it's already eating you from inside your mouth. So that's gonna make it even worse. If you eat pineapple, just expect that it's gonna last. The experience of eating pineapple does not just go away after you're done eating it. You're gonna have that pineapple in your soul. You're gonna feel it deep inside. So, because of that, I'm gonna put it in great to bite. With the cake. Oh no! Why do you torture yourself like that, my green-shaped friend? Green-shaped? Now you're shaped like the color green. What that looks like, I don't know. Ugh. You're a glutton for punishment. And pineapples. So this is our tier list. Green. Don't mock me. I know what I said. I don't take it back. I own it. So here's our tier list here. I don't take anything back. Should I don't think I have to explain mushrooms. I think I've already explained mushrooms. It gets its own tier because I hate it that much. I actively seek it out in everything I'm eating to eliminate it from existence. That being said, I know I haven't tried every type of mushroom, so I would give, like, those steak mushrooms a try, just because I love steak that much. But, you know, I'd have to, like, gird my loins before I did that. Just not a fan of mushrooms. Fungus is not food. It's not. No, no, no. Alright, would anyone change or anyone like to elect to move some of the things I've put here? Is there anything here that you thoroughly object to? Other than this, because I know everyone thoroughly objects to that but me. I do realize how strange I am in my like of this. I did used to eat dirt as a kid. I also bit people frequently as a kid, which surprises no one. I didn't actually, I remember I bit people a lot when I was little, and then I stopped biting people. And then I didn't get in trouble for it as much as I probably should have. But then the one time my sister bites someone and she is grounded hard, and I'm like, ha, ha, I got away with it for so long, but you can't. It's because I'm the youngest. I get away with more. And because I'm so cute. You can't ground this face. This face is the cutest face. I'm precious. You can't ground me. Alright, well, no one's gonna contest anything that I've put here. So clearly, my opinions are correct. They're accurate. There's nothing objectionable on here. No one is a fan of mushrooms, so they're all based. Yeah, so, yeah, no one can say that these are wrong. They are my opinion, I know. I like to brag, okay? Except for Caesar salad. Alright, well that's the end of the tier list. Let's go back to my bedroom. We're going back. We're traveling. We're traveling. And we're back. Ta-da! Back to decent guy. He's so handsome over there. He knows what he's about. And we know what he's about. Being decent. You're Oshi. I have revealed him unto you again. And I'm gonna keep my room pretty clean. It's all nice. It's all nice in here still. I'm never fixing my lamp though. It gets to stay crooked. Why would I ever fix my lamp? No, I refuse. My room is just the way I like it. It's cozy and that's all that matters. Alright, so I know it was a pretty short stream. But, you know, sometimes I get to have short streams. An hour, nearly 2 hours is longer than I thought this would be. I thought I'd be able to get through that list in half an hour, my gosh. How did I ramble on for an hour and 45 minutes about things that you can bite? I felt like I probably should have done a separate tier list for the human body. But, that'd be a different kind of tier list. Oh, thank you, thank you. Short but sweet. Oh, break into people's houses and tilt all their lamps. And then I'm gonna go into people's houses at night and wreck up the place. That's my Nixon impression. Alright, well thank you all for being here. With that, we're gonna call it. And I hope you all have a good night. Have a good night. Have a good night. Toodles.